Welcome back to WGTV and episode 48. Yes, sensational, no. We'll soon be at 50. As always, I'd just like to say a big thank you very much to our sponsors and affiliates. So thank you very much to Firestorm Games, and thank you very much also to Pro Painted Studios, who have given us a wonderful code that you'll see here along the bottom of the screen, that can give you a lovely 10% off all the lovely widgets and gadgets that they do. Speaking of wonderful things, there is also the wonderful warbay.shop, which is an amazing store. You can buy models, sell models, and you can even buy their little widgets and rune counters as well. So
I believe it's by Wargamers for Wargamers.
There you go.
Beautiful.
It's like he's done this before.
Never.
It's amazing. I know, and it is. Yeah. So don't forget, check them out. And of course, I would like to say a big thank you to all our patrons, because without you, then, well, you know, this would just be no fun. So as always, I'd like to take a bow. Thank you very much, a curtsy if you will, to the Master, thank you, Mr. Shaun Ricketts, and also I'd like to say a big salute to our hardened warriors, who are one Adam Rawson, we also have one Stu West, we also have a Ben McDougall, we have Andy Curry, we also have Wayne Gummer, we have Tim McFall, and we also have David Bishop Miller. Thank you very much.
All remembered.
Beautiful. Thank you very much. And also a cheeky wink to our local militia, who are Adam Maiden, Jack Maiden, Paul Haley, Ben Cronin, and Jane Slater. Thank you very much. Without you, like I say, it would be no fun at all. And if you want to join in, grab some swag, look pretty, be good, then but join up on Patreon as well. Never at all. So tonight, though, for tonight's show, I have got Adam versus the wonderful Shaun, and Adam's going to be sporting
the Princes of Darkness.
He's doing it again. He's been all naughty.
Yes.
He's been very naughty.
It's a return to the channel for my Soulblight. Slight points changes, so it's a very small tweak to the list, but you'll see.
We'll see that. We'll go through
in a
that shortly.
second.
And then you're going to be bringing the forces of true darkness, the slaves to darkness, is it not?
The proper Prince of Darkness,
With
the Slaves of Darkness.
led by.
Belakor.
Well, we'll go through that. But first,
He thinks he's the real Prince of
I know. No, all right, here we go again. Gosh, there's too many egos here. So we're going to have to now find out which ego on what battle plan we're going to be playing. So the battle plan for tonight is limited resources. So look at that. So we have 6, not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5, but 6 objectives. Look at them all in the sky, like a constellation. Beautiful. Now, it's the usual score 1, score 2, score more. In terms of inches apart, they're going to be 13-inch deployment zones. Territory is split right down the centre. But the little quirk in this one is the fact that you get to siphon your objectives. So, if you are on your objective for 2 consecutive turns, then you have siphoned everything out of them. The meltwater, I believe.
Meltwater?
It's all gone.
They're
It's
melting.
gone. You've drunk it all.
Melting.
So you're melting. You couldn't stop yourself, could you? You're melting. Oh, I tell you. They're always longer, these now, because people like
Run a
you.
YouTube channel, they said.
Yeah, it'd be easy,
Your
they
idea.
said. Stupid idea. Meltwater. So, yes, if you siphon the objectives, then that's you can't score them after you've had them 2 consecutive turns. But you can still stop your opponent from taking them. Okay, got that?
Beautiful.
Thinking, yeah, know that, all right. But so if you're clever, you could tag it, jump off, let them jump on, and then it's not 2 consecutive turns anymore, then you can take it back. So then it's not been siphoned.
Very good. What if you're not clever?
Well, we'll see. Yeah. Speaking of which, not clever, let's go looking through the armies. First up, we've got the Gravelords. Why don't you tell me about your lovely Soulblight Gravelords list?
Well, my lovely Soulblight Gravelords list is a bit of a hero/monster mash. It's Legion of Blood with Neferata, because she does things to Legion of Blood.
What does she do?
She has a -1 to hit bubble, and the Legion of Blood monsters get +1 to cast if they're outside of 3, +1 attack if they are within 3 of enemies.
You also get to redeploy at the beginning.
I do get to redeploy at the beginning, which I have done. It's difficult to show on the video,
Okay,
but,
we'll
but I
do
did
that, yeah.
kind of deploy them over to the side and then put them back in the centre.
And the list itself, then?
The list itself, so Neferata, and then I've got a Vengorian Lord / Lady, who is the general, Lady Victoria.
Ah, of course.
And then a Vampire Lord on Zombie Dragon, and then Mannfred, who I have to have him in every Soulblight list.
Of course you
Really.
do. And what about Vicky's command trait?
Vicky's command trait, that's a good question.
Oops.
I know her artifact. Would you like to know
Yes,
that?
I'd like to know the artifact then, please.
It's the thing that makes her unrendable.
Ah, see. Cloak of Mist and Shadows by any chance?
Yeah, I believe so.
There we go.
Yeah,
that's it. Boo. Yeah, right. Cloak of Mist and
Yeah,
Shadows.
I'm pretty sure her command trait is something inconsequential that I always forget.
Which is why you forget, so it doesn't matter. You can see it in the comments.
Yeah,
Let's see if he even needs it. It's all about the Cloak of Mist and Shadows. That's what it's all about.
Yeah.
And so all those monsters are backed up by...
a necromancer, so another hero. And then some zombies, some skellies, and some dogs.
But the necromancer knows a very naughty spell, doesn't he?
He does. He knows his little blizzard spell.
He knows the blizzard spell. So if anybody gets within 12 inches of him,
boom,
and that's it. Yeah,
that's
he
right.
blows it out. So, and that's how many points is that? 1980?
1980.
Very good. Okay, so right, that's well rounded out. Now, time to have a little look at the Slaves to Darkness next.
So, the beautiful Slave to Darkness, led by the one and only Belakor.
Ta-da.
Does what it says on the tin.
Lovely puppeting tricks and...
Shenanigans and a few spells here and there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we're in the...
We are in the
Knights of the Empty Throne?
Knights of the Empty Throne. Yeah, we are indeed. We've got 4 lots of Vanguard, all with Mark of Corn, so they can advance and charge. Makes them nice and tasty. With the extra attack, so that's good. I've got a blob of 10 knights with the icon of
Eroding Icon.
That's the one, eroding icon. So they are -1 to hit because they're Mark of Nurgle as well, and they are also -1 rend when you're going into them. And apart from that, it's an army that's going to advance and charge.
That's what the Knights of the Empty Throne do, isn't it? And it's a 1-drop battle regiment, isn't it?
Yeah, all 1 drop. So
1940.
I want to say 1970.
1970. Either way, less than Adam here. So you're getting the triumph. So which triumph are you going to go for?
The
Bloodthirsty.
That's the one. So I can advance. So I can reroll a charge roll once per game.
Should you fail? Very
good.
good.
I fail? So,
but why should you fail?
Exactly.
You'll never fail.
Never.
But as you've been the 1-drop, and Adam was multiple drops, weren't you?
4.
You therefore, sir, choose. Does the prince go first? Or
Does the prince go first?
Or does the prince go first? Is it you or is it Adam? Who's going to go first?
The charlatan.
The Prince of
Pretender,
Darkness.
the Prince of Darkness. He's going to go. Right. Okay then. So that's what we'll do. Join us after Adam's turn 1.
Well, in true WGTV fashion, this turn was brought to you by the number 1. So a little bit of a cagey turn 1 in the end because, well, dice are not my friend. But I went for Magical Dominance as my battle tactic, so cast a spell, don't have any unbound. 3 of my wizards were out of range of Belakor, so I thought I could probably achieve that. I can get through turn 1 without every wizard casting, so I thought I'd hopefully have that in the bag, and I nearly didn't, but more of that to come. So I began spell casting. Mannfred stepped up, he went, I got this, I'm going to cast Mystic Shield. And he did, no problem. Shaun's out of range, Mystic Shield goes on to Neferata. Happy days. He goes, well, I'm on a roll, I'm going to cast Arcane Bolt. Rolls a 4, doesn't cast it. He's not Legion of Blood, so he doesn't get the +1 to cast. And I should have seen the signs there, because then Lady Victoria stepped up and went, Spirit Gale, let us cast a Spirit Gale and do mortal wounds to everyone. She rolled a 7. Crucially, it was a 6 and a 1. And without thinking, I went, I'll add a primal dice to that, and rolled another 1. And those of you who've been paying attention to the new handbook know that that's not good. that does bad things. So she took D3 plus 3 wounds, took 5, managed to death save one of them, and then killed 2 zombies, knocked a wound off Mannfred, knocked a wound off Neferata. Fortunately, the Necromancer styled it out and rolled 2 death saves. But yeah, following that, what happened was, I don't want to play anymore, so I'm back here behind my little bunker of zombies, waiting for the filth that's about to come across the table at me. But I do get 4 points, so it wasn't a completely in vain turn 1.
Well, hello there. So, end of turn 1 for Slaves of Darkness. I went for Magical Mastery for my dominance for my battle tactic. So what I done was I tried to cast Mystic Shield with Belakor. I got a 8 with my dice, and then I rolled a magical dice, and I got 1. And I thought, you know what? Who cares? And I roll again, and I am also sponsored by 1. So he's gone and done 5 wounds to himself because he's great. And then I basically just moved my Varangard and my Knights up just to do a bit of blocking and prepping for turn 2. I also done a cheeky little charge over to some skeletons just on the far right as I'm looking at it. Wipe them off the board. And that's it. So I've got 3 points. I got hold 1, hold 2, hold more. But I didn't get my battle tactic. So happy days for roll off for turn 2.
Here we go. Let's have a look.
WGTV!
Oh!
I was afraid of that. I don't know what to do.
Chicken! Who's going to play chicken?
I might just have to...
Who's going to play chicken?
I'll take it.
Take it.
I'll take it, yeah. So I think that was one of those priority rolls where you're not sure whether you wanted to win it or not, and it all depends really on how the turn goes. Well, so we rolled the primal dice. I rolled 1, Shaun didn't, so we both got 1, and I went for Cursed Unlife, which means that either my general or 2 other vampires have to heal wounds using the hunger this turn, and I was intending to bring a wave of vampires over this way and do a lot of hungering. At which point Shaun said, Belakor's going to whisper. And he whispered at Neferata. And that was a problem for several reasons. It ended up not being the problem that I thought it was. I failed the battle tactic for a whole other set of reasons, but it did cause me a problem in the first instance. Anyway, I digress. Let's go back to magic. I failed to cast Spirit Gale again. I'd rolled a 1 as part of that roll, and I decided not to roll a primal dice this time, so that was fine. But I did get Mystic Shield off on the Zombie Dragon. I got Dark Mist off on Neferata because she was able to cast spells. But then she wasn't able to move, so hence she's still back here, looking pretty. Meanwhile, the rest of the plan kind of took shape, where Mannfred ended up kind of here, and these 2 followed him. What I really needed was for Mannfred and the Vengorian lady to get in, because they both had wounds taken on them. if only Mannfred and the zombie dragon got in, then Mannfred fights first, then the zombie dragon fights, and the zombie dragon doesn't have any wounds taken, so I would have failed the battle tactic anyway. All of this became academic because the Vengorian lady failed a charge with a reroll, and then the zombie dragon rolled a 3 for his charge and didn't get in. So only Mannfred managed to get in and fight and use the hunger, which is what failed me the battle tactic. But I am holding these 3 objectives plus 5 cheeky skeletons managed to resurrect themselves in the movement phase. So I hold that one as well at the moment. However, this one has been meltwatered or siphoned for me, and so is my home one now. So those are no longer scoreable for me, but they are still scoreable for Shaun. When it was all said and done, 3 points takes me to 7. Hold 1, hold 2, score more, but no battle tactic.
End of Slaves of Darkness Battle Round 2. So my battle tactic was to run them down, so charge 3 units. So Belakor went into magic mode at the start and then decided to perils again and do himself another 2 wounds after healing himself 3 wounds, because he's great.
No primal dice this time, fortunately.
Yeah, just all went wrong. So after that, I decided to cast, well, I couldn't pass any more spells because it was a double 1. And then it was just a case of moving in position for Belakor to strike into Mannfred, along with a squad of Varangard, and then another squad of Varangard went into 5 zombies to return them back, skeletons even, to return them back to the graves where they belong. I managed to do all of that. I managed to hold 4 objectives to teachers 2. So I've got hold 1, hold 2, hold more, and I've also got my battle tactic.
Tell them about the fight, though.
Yes, and the fight was absolutely epic because Belakor went in. I decided to go first with my Varangard, and then Teach decided to spike his Feel No Pains because he's nice like that. And then he went for a challenge onto Belakor, and I swiftly rolled 1s and 2s for his saves, and Belakor is he's quivering in the warp somewhere. Bless him. I had to use the unit of Vanguard that charged. I used their once per battle ability to fight for a second time to make sure I got rid of Mannfred because he was slightly obnoxious. But I've still got another 3 units that I can do that with if I so wish. And that's the end of the battle. I've already said that. 3 units charge.
3 units charge.
Yeah. Cool. So yeah, it's time to see who gets a roll off.
8 plays 7, and we have a little roll. WGTV! Oh, it's another 6.
Oh, 3.
I like these red dice. I think I've got to take it at this point. So, Prince of Darkness, turn 3 coming up. Welcome to Soulblight turn 3, where I have led my Legion of Vampires into the Maelstrom. Quite literally, because that was the battle tactic. So I had to charge with a hero and a battle line unit and have at least one of them survive. And yeah, I felt it was time to try and push the advantage, having won the priority. But we'll kind of have to wait and see whether that was the right idea or not. In terms of magic, Spirit Gale just isn't happening today. Neferata doesn't really fancy casting spells either. The Vampire Lord I don't think cast anything. So I just got 1 measly Arcane Bolt off, which I forgot to use, didn't I? It doesn't matter because those are Nurgle things, so they don't die. So yeah, having basically failed at magic, we thought maybe we can do movement, maybe that will work. So everything kind of hinged around the corner here and lined up all of these grizzly knights. And what ensued, I think is fair to say, was just a bit of a pillow fight. The Vampire Lord did a little bit. He killed 2 Varangard out of a unit 3 here, but Vicky completely whiffed. And this lot were hitting Nurgle Knights that basically don't die. Did I kill 1?
Put 2 wounds on 1.
Put 2 wounds on 1 of them. That's it. But at the end of the turn, I held 1, held 2. Didn't hold more. But I did get the battle tactics. So 4 points for 11-8. And into Slaves turn 3.
Welcome to end of Vanguard turn 3. So my battle tactic was bait and trap. So I've got no heroes on the board, so I didn't need to do any anything in the hero phase. So essentially what I did was I retreated with this unit of Vanguard, this unit of 2, and the big blob of 10 knights. And then I charged with this blob of Vanguard and this blob of Vanguard over here. This lot of Vanguard killed 6.5 doggies, and that unit of Vanguard over there decided to kill 20 skeletons.
Zombies,
them two. I've siphoned off 1, 2, 3 objectives, so they can't be scored by me anymore, and Adam has scored 1, 2 and 3 with the red tokens on. So this next roll off is going to be quite important. We'll see what happens. I've got my 5 points, so I'm up to 13 to Adam's 11. I'll let you roll first this time.
I'll go TV. It's a 5.
Oh!
Ah!
Oh! Oh!
It's all yours, if you want to take it.
Can I buy some of these red dice, please? I think I do want it. I think. This is a really difficult choice. I think I will take it, yeah. So turn 4 for the Soulblight is getting a bit tense now. I went for expand the grave empires, which means I need to hold 2 objectives wholly outside my territory with vampire or summonable units. And I saw a little opening for Nef to just scoot over there and take one, and I was already holding one back here, so I thought that was going to be really easy. Yeah, more on that to come. Magic Soul Spirit Gale even finally went off and did a bit. Then we got a Mystic Shield on the Zombie Dragon. We got an Arcane Bolt that we remembered this time on Nef. She's also Dark Misted. So finally a good turn of magic for done me. And then yeah, really it was just move her over there, charge the Knights again because I don't want them charging me. The Zombie Dragon dealt with the 3 Varangard that were over here. And the dog, this dog champion, what a hero. He's there on 1 wound, having watched 3 of his little mates get pup splatted. And he's holding up 3 Varangard by himself, just yipping at their ankles and things. Meanwhile, Lady Victoria came over here and dealt with a Varangard that was here. The reason there was only 1 here is because Stormin Norman the Necromancer here had unleashed his blizzard at them and did 15 mortal wounds to them. So he was flattering to deceive earlier in the game. He was just sort of hanging back there, checking on the zombies, but he has now contributed with the world's biggest snowball. Meanwhile, some zombies came out of the graves over here in my movement phase and have retaken this objective. So at the end of that turn, I hold 1, hold 2, hold more. I have a vampire over on the objective there and a vampire over on the objective there. Unfortunately, I was managed to position Neferata so that he couldn't pile in onto that objective and disrupt that at all. So a full 5 points for that turn, and I jump out to a 3-point lead, but with Shaun's turn 4 to come.
And welcome to the end of Slaves of Darkness, about turn 4. So again, no heroes to worry about for the hero phase, so it was straight into movement. So my battle tactic was Thrall to Chaos. So essentially I had to pick an enemy unit that was in 12 and an objective marker. There was one pooch there, and I had to kill it, essentially. So I pulled my blob of 9 Chaos Knights out of combat. I moved my blob of 3 Varangard out of combats with a pooch, and then I moved my blob of 2 up, charged the pooch, hung drone and quartered him, moved on to the 2 objectives. I'm now holding 1, holding 2. I'm not holding more, but I'd got my battle tactics, so I got 4 points. So it's now 17 to 16 to yours truly, and it's roll off time.
That's cocked.
Oh,
he's finally won one.
Oh.
Yes, I'll take it.
Will you?
And end of Slaves to Darkness, turn 5. So again, no heroes, so I didn't have to worry about the hero phase. So my battle tactic was something the invaders. So essentially I had to have more units outside of my deployment zone than was inside it. So essentially what I did was I moved my blob of 2 Varangard over to this point here. I'll move my big blob of 10 over onto the point there. I control 1, I control 2, I control more. I got my battle tactic, straight 5 points. So I'm on 22 to Teacher's 16. Living a dream.
So Soulblight turn 5, and effectively I just left myself too much to do. I think I'd melted too many objectives earlier in the game, maybe. But I was I got myself at 6s and 7s with what battle tactic to do. I think I ended up wanting to kill a unit with a spell and then pick the wrong unit to do the spell on, because really I was in a situation where I needed to score a full 5 points and kill all of Shaun's army and score more objectives. And yeah, and I needed everything. I needed the world. But yeah, it wasn't really possible. So I did my best. Got Blizzard off again, cast it on the Knights. I think it only killed 3 of them, even though it done 15 mortal wounds again. I got Spirit Gale off. We did a Vile Transference. We were really throwing everything at everything. We got Dark Mist and Arcane Bolt off. We brought everything across over here, and I think you can probably appreciate they had a good go at it. We killed 3 Varangard over here with the Zombie Dragon, almost killed this unit with Neferata, but she's a lover, not a fighter. And then these guys, they just don't die. So there's still 5 left. But headline news is that Stormin Norman, the Necromancer here, has 1 wound left, but he killed a knight. So I'll take the moral victory and remain the Dark Prince, yeah, Shaun?
Not a chance.
So at the end of the game, this is before Grand Strategies, but it's 1922, and we will update that in the conclusion.
Conclusion time, folks. Well, wasn't that a little bit of a rip-roaring battle, huh?
Fun and games, that one.
All the way through.
Back and forth the whole way.
Oh,
Yes.
either it was up, they were down, it was like, oh, no, it needn't. And finally, maybe just finally, that double turn.
Eventually.
4 into 5, you'd waited all game for it.
Yep.
Maybe, clearly, just tipped it, just the pendulum just swung one more way back to go.
Massively, yeah.
Massively, yeah. Belakor would have been proud even though he wasn't around since like turn 2.
He was stroking people in Stone Ash, it's fine.
Did you have a knight of the match? Or a unit of the match? Or a vanguard of the match? Or a Belakor of the match? Or
The Vanguard are just great.
Yeah.
I mean, the 10 Nurgle Knights
gotta admit,
are obnoxious.
They are. They don't do much, but then you can't do much to them, and they just erode not only icons but people's will to live. Yeah, that's it. Yeah,
very much so.
I wasn't that afraid of the Vanguard.
Yeah,
but because I've got the mobility to
and the
work
punch.
around them.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I'd ever have dealt with those knights. Unless you just stood within 12 inches of the Necromancer saying, hit me with blizzards.
And even when he did.
Even when he did.
Like, there's still
3 knights is not nothing, but yeah.
I mean, it would have been interesting, because if I did get a double turn earlier, they were going for a charge.
Yeah. Well, I thought they were. Yeah, they're going to go in there. So did you have a zombie, a skeleton, a direwolf, a vampire of the match, or a necromancer even?
Well, she won't like me saying it, but it's definitely not Vicky this time. She was...
Not Vicky.
She whiffed.
Sacrilege.
She whiffed big. Failed charges, just couldn't hit a thing.
Wasn't
we all have a bad day, though.
We do.
I'll
it
forgive her.
It was a bad one. Yeah, we'll have to let her off.
For a while, it was Mannfred, just for killing Belakor and for taking the early kind of storm,
taking it to them.
Which is,
yeah.
Which is what he does well.
Yeah.
And he did his job. Mm-hmm. So she can't be pissed off with him today.
No, certainly can't.
But in the end, 2 blizzards and killing a knight in combat, the overachiever of the army was little Norman the Necromancer.
The cheapest person on the board, the loneliest character in the world, and he goes to Norman. Bless him.
But a honourable mention for Neferata, who just took objectives and was in the right place at the right time, just did her stuff, did what I'd expect.
The -1 to hit.
And the zombie dragon went through the whole game not taking a wound.
Which is impressive.
And I think he killed at least 2 units of Vanguard by himself. So, Vicky needs to raise a game.
And Belakor?
Mannfred got Belakor, didn't he?
Oh, yeah, of course.
Yeah, of course he did.
As we just mentioned.
As we mentioned, but thanks for watching.
Call yourself the Prince.
He doesn't remember the underling. He doesn't remember stuff. So, what do we think, though, of the battle plan? It's kind of looked very...
It's a really interesting one.
Yeah.
I think...
Yeah, you need manoeuvrability without a doubt.
You've got 6, you need to move fast, do you siphon early? If you siphon early, you run out of them, as you found out.
I did find
almost
out,
to your cost. It was, well, as to the cost, it was, you seem to take all of one flank, then not the other.
Yeah, and at the end of the game, I had siphoned all of them by the end of turn 5.
The whole lot, everything was gone for you.
And there were 3 that I couldn't score at the end of the game, so you do have to be quite canny. About when you take them and how long you hold them for, and
lots of lessons learned. Yeah, it was good. It was a
scenario I'm looking forward to playing again, though.
Yeah, no, there's lots to be taken out of it and how to learn and move with it. There's so many situations where do you bait them on, do you let them take it back, so that if they take it back, you can score it again, so it's not 2 in a row.
And I think, to be fair, that's probably where Shaun won the game early on, was you were leaving objectives alone.
Yeah.
And playing that game, and I was just trying to score as many objectives as I could.
You got hungry. You was like, I'll have them all. They're all mine. Mine, I tell you. And then, oh no, they're not, because I've run out of them. Yeah. Anyway, but still, I liked it. You liked it?
Yeah.
You liked it?
Yep.
Let's hope you liked it. So if you do, don't forget, like, subscribe, comment, even Patreon. That's absolutely fine. I have no problems with that. But more than anything, make sure that you do join us again for the next episode. And on that, my dear viewers, until next time,
bye.